Confusion is the most honest response. That is a famous quote by Marty Enden. But in my household, I'm so confused is not just a famous quote, but also a feeling. It may seem like some simple bullying statement, but it is something frequently said at my house, by everybody, but originally said by my older half-sister Kate, who seems to always be confused, no matter how many times you explain the same thing to her. We were both a little confused on how we felt about each other growing up, because we did not get along at all. But now that I'm 14 and she is 19, we always find each other hanging out or even just talking on the phone. She now even shows me she cares, listens, and even includes me, which is very different than things used to be. These are my favorite things about Kate. Which she truly shows me she cares for me as a person in so many ways. For example, I'm having a rough day or just don't want to be home because of things that are happening. She'll pick me up anytime, anywhere, no questions asked. Or how, when my parents got divorced, my mom got into some serious addiction and gained some pretty bad habits and started hanging out with some really bad people. And I lost the mother figure I had and the person I looked up to. But my sister stepped in even though she was going through the same exact thing and took the place that I needed most. That has really helped me out in life because now I have my person. She even helps me out with the smaller things like just math homework. Even though she sucks at it, so do I. But she always gives it a shot for me. Though it may not be right, at least it's done. That may not be the best mindset to get into, but sometimes it's the best you can. Well, that's what Katie tells me anyways. She's good at giving advice, but she's better at listening. She'll always hear me out about anything, even if she doesn't agree with it entirely. She keeps her opinions to herself and hears me out. But when I need her to, she tells me the honest truth. That's why I think I can tell her everything, and I do. Because I know I won't be judged or yelled at like with my parents. But she just seems to understand everything, which makes it extremely hard to keep anything from her, especially when it comes to the holidays. I always find myself struggling with telling her what she's getting for her birthday or Christmas, but that's okay. My dad might not agree with that, but it doesn't really matter. But I knew if I told her, she would understand because she has told me what I'm getting multiple times. She always keeps an open mind, which is kind of weird because me and my sister have very different opinions on very many things. But she always tells me those opinions, which makes me feel included, and she includes me in everything. No matter what it is, I always get an invite or ask what I think about it. For example, she'll just go to the store for under an hour, and I live 10 minutes away from her house, so it's quite out of the way sometimes. But she always comes just pick me up so I have something to do. She even includes me in the small things that don't even matter, like letting me name her cat. Just so I can be a part of the experience, but I have a dog that I named. She even goes to the extent of including my friends so they feel the same way I do. If I get an invite, they get an invite. Even if when I'm not with them, she makes sure to text them and ask if they want to join. For example, the other day my friend missed the bus, and she drove all the way to her house, picked her up, got her food, and then took her to school. She even includes me when I'm not physically around. If she always second guesses something, I always get a should I even go or should I even do this type of text. Which, knowing your opinion is valued to somebody that much really means a lot. I may complain about going places or talking to her all the time, but honestly, it's my favorite thing to do. All these examples are my favorite things about Katie, showing that she cares like little things like when I'm having a rough day and coming to pick me up, or listening to me with things that she doesn't agree with, but keeping to her opinion to herself, which I know is very hard for me. To even include me in silly ways like letting me name her stolen parking lot cat Marvin the Motion. These little things seem so big to me and mean the most. But back to confusion. Remember, being confused is a valid feeling and response, but I know if I'm ever feeling a little confused, I can always go back to my older sister Kate.